After 40, excess abdominal fat, especially visceral fat, which surrounds your organs, is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and even certain cancers. In fact, your risk of mortality is 47% higher, according to a 2015 study. The New York Times did a good compilation of different studies that show other risks related to deep belly fat, like the fact that every 2 extra inches of belly fat raises your risk of cardiovascular problems by 10%. Anyway, the problem is, it's tougher to lose belly fat after 40. Our bodies change as we age, and what worked in our 20s or 30s might not cut it anymore. I want to cut through the noise of sleep more and manage your stress levels with the right tactics to help you out. So, let's start with the basics. Let's first understand what's going on, and then we'll see how we can combat it. These changes are natural, but understanding them is the first step to working with your body, not against it. First, your metabolism slows down as you age. After 40, you might notice that you can't eat the same way you used to without gaining weight. That's because your basal metabolic rate, meaning the number of calories your body burns at rest, decreases by about 1 to 2% per decade after 30. One reason this happens is that your cells become less efficient at producing energy, which means you burn fewer calories throughout the day. That means that belly fat can creep up even if your diet hasn't changed much. But it also happens because of muscle loss. After 40, you start losing muscle mass at a rate of about 3 to 5% per decade. This condition, called sarcopenia, accelerates after 50 if you're not actively working to preserve muscle. This matters because muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning it burns calories even at rest. Less muscle means a slower metabolism and a higher likelihood of fat storage, especially around the belly. Secondly, you'll notice lots of hormonal shifts. Hormones play a massive role in fat storage, especially around the midsection. After 40, both men and women experience significant hormonal changes that will make it harder for you to lose belly fat. For men, testosterone levels decline with age, which leads to more fat storage and less muscle mass. Lower testosterone also impacts energy levels and motivation. Basically, it's harder to stay active. For women, perimenopause and menopause lead to a drop in estrogen levels. This hormonal shift encourages your body to store fat in the abdominal area rather than the hips and thighs. These hormonal changes aren't just about fat storage. They also affect hunger cues, cravings, and even how your body responds to exercise. Keeping all that in mind, let's dive into the best strategies for tackling belly fat after 40 with nutrition and exercise. First, you need strength training with progressive overload, not just lifting heavier weights. Muscle loss speeds up as you age, and that means a slower metabolism. The only way to fight this is through progressive overload. That doesn't just mean lifting heavier weights. I know this isn't a popular thing to say in this day, but lifting heavy isn't always best. If you're doing Bulgarian squats with 100 pounds in your 40s like in your 20s, your knees may start screaming with pain. But you still have to keep challenging your muscles. If you don't, you're losing ground. The point is pushing your body in a way that forces adaptation. Maybe that's increasing your reps, slowing down the eccentric phase of your lifts, or doing bottom half reps. Compound sets or isometrics work awesome as well. 3 full body strength sessions per week is the sweet spot, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows. Now let's talk about protein. Most people over 40 aren't eating nearly enough of it. Those who do are mostly not timing it right. You need at least 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, and you need to space it evenly throughout the day. After 40, your body doesn't use protein as efficiently as it once did, which means cramming all your protein in a post-workout shake isn't going to cut it. You need to hit at least 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal to maximize muscle protein synthesis. If you're not getting that, you're setting yourself up for muscle loss, slower metabolism, and more belly fat. Prioritize leucine-rich sources like chicken, eggs, fish, Greek yogurt, and whey protein to get the best muscle-building effects. Another key step is to move towards metabolic resistance training instead of cardio-only workouts. Cardio-only workouts after 40 are working against your metabolism. What actually works is metabolic resistance training. This is a hybrid of strength and cardio that keeps your metabolism burning long after you finished your workout. A simple such circuit could be front squats, followed by push-ups, deadlifts, chin-up holds, and then a sled push or kettlebell swings to finish. This type of training spikes your excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, meaning your body burns calories for hours after you leave the gym, and the best part is that it preserves muscle while improving your cardiovascular fitness. Number 4, use carb cycling, not low-carb dieting. Diet-wise, cutting carbs completely is not a great idea. After 40, your body doesn't handle well drastic calorie or carb cuts. So instead of going low carb, use carb cycling. On strength training days, eat moderate to high carbs, and on rest days, go lower. On intense training days, when you're doing heat or metabolic conditioning, you'll need even more carbs to fuel your workout and recover properly. These are the days when you can eat more simple carbs, like honey, pasta, or chocolate, but time them around your workouts for the best results. And during rest days, get those carbs from slow digesting sources like oats, potatoes, and green veggies. If you do this right, you'll keep your metabolism firing and avoid unnecessary fat gain. Last tip for today is do smart core training. If you're still relying on endless crunches and sit-ups, you're not making the most of your time. Your core's job isn't just to crunch, but also to stabilize, so train it with anti-rotation and anti-extension exercises as well if you want to actually tighten your midsection. Dead bugs, hanging leg raises, and ab rollouts will do more for your core strength and posture than any amount of sit-ups ever will. Plus, they actually protect your lower back, which becomes even more important as you get older. So as I promised in the beginning, this is the approach that works. Do smart strength training, eat enough protein, time your carbs, and focus on metabolic workouts. That's how you lose belly fat after 40 and keep it off. Now, I want to hear from you. Tell me what's the biggest challenge you're facing when it comes to fat loss. Or maybe you have some tips for me. Drop a comment below, and if you got value from this clip, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more no-nonsense fitness advice. Now, let's move the chat to the comments.